Have Coronation Street fans finally reached breaking point? Just when viewers thought the biggest drama was happening on the cobbles, ITV pulls the soap from its usual slot. Fans are left confused. Schedules are changing. Episodes are moving. And while viewers struggle to keep up with when Coronation Street is actually on, the stories unfolding inside Weatherfield are becoming darker than ever. Because tonight, a vulnerable young woman reaches a devastating emotional breaking point. A murder mystery takes another sinister turn. A father's guilt threatens to consume him. And one resident may be hiding a secret that could change everything. This is Coronation Street Update. And trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next. For many fans, Friday night felt strange. Something was missing. The familiar return to Weatherfield never arrived. Instead, Coronation Street disappeared from ITV's schedule as football coverage took center stage. For loyal viewers who build their evenings around the cobbles, the sudden change created frustration almost instantly. Social media quickly filled with confusion. Questions flooded in. Where was Corey? When would it return? Why does it keep happening? But while fans searched for answers, the storylines waiting in the wings were quietly building towards something explosive. Because this isn't simply a scheduling shakeup. It's a week packed with emotional devastation, suspicion, and secrets. And that may be exactly why viewers are counting down the minutes until the show's return. When Coronation Street finally returns for its rare Sunday night episode, one man finds himself under growing pressure. Gary Windass. And the walls may be starting to close in. DC Kit Green isn't backing down. Not now. Not after discovering another piece of the puzzle surrounding Theo's death. This time the focus falls on Todd Grimshaw's missing phone. A phone that mysteriously ended up in a skip. A phone that could potentially unlock the truth. Or expose a lie. Kit confronts Gary directly. The questions are sharp. The atmosphere is tense. Gary sticks to his story. He knows nothing. He's seen nothing. He has no explanation. But Kit isn't convinced. Not even close. In fact, after the conversation ends, Kit privately tells Lisa something incredibly revealing. He believes Gary knows far more than he's admitting. And he intends to find out exactly what that is. And that's when things take a darker turn. Because viewers have already noticed Gary acting suspiciously, keeping secrets, avoiding questions, meeting people behind closed doors. The kind of behavior that naturally raises alarm bells. But is Gary hiding a murder? Or protecting somebody else? That's the question haunting Weatherfield right now. And the answer could be more shocking than anyone expects. Meanwhile, another heartbreaking story unfolds far away from the investigation. And it's one of the most emotionally devastating developments we've seen in weeks. Summer. Alone. Feared. And struggling to survive life behind bars. Todd receives a phone call no friend ever wants to receive. Summer has been rushed to hospital. Immediately panic sets in. Fear takes over. Worst-case scenarios begin racing through his mind. But what Todd learns next leaves him horrified. Summer reveals she deliberately switched off her insulin pump. She made herself ill. On purpose. Not because she wanted sympathy. Not because she wanted attention. But because she simply couldn't cope anymore. Think about that. The crushing isolation. The hopelessness. The emotional exhaustion. The overwhelming feeling that there is no escape. Summer has reached a point where prison isn't simply punishing her. It's breaking her. Psychologically. Emotionally. And perhaps even spiritually. What happens next is devastating. Todd shares the truth with friends at the Rovers. But among those listening are people connected to the murder investigation. Potential suspects. Potential liars. Potential killers. As Summer's suffering becomes public knowledge, viewers will be watching closely. Because guilt has a funny way of revealing itself. Sometimes all it takes is one reaction. One moment. And suddenly everything changes. Elsewhere, Daniel Osborne faces consequences of his own. And this story is driven by guilt rather than suspicion. Daniel nervously welcomes a social worker into his home. He's trying desperately to rebuild trust. Trying to prove he can provide stability for Bertie. Trying to convince everyone, including himself, that he's moving forward. Before the meeting, Daniel reaches out to people he's wronged. He apologizes. He acknowledges their support. He tries to make amends. But underneath the apologies lies a painful truth. Daniel believes he knows who contacted social services. The question is he right? Or is another shock waiting around the corner? Because recent events have left Daniel emotionally fragile. And when people feel cornered, they often look for someone to blame, whether they deserve it or not. At the same time, another family faces a completely different kind of heartbreak. A small moment. A simple celebration. Ruined by mystery. David and Shona should be enjoying a special day. Harper's 5-month milestone. A treasured memory. A family photo shoot. A happy occasion. Instead, everything falls apart when an important milestone card suddenly disappears. Without it, the plans collapse. The photo shoot is missed. And Shona is left devastated. Back at home, frustration turns into accusation. David points the finger at Jody Ramsey. He believes she's responsible. He believes she's deliberately caused trouble. But is she really guilty? Or is she simply becoming the convenient target whenever something goes wrong? The truth remains unclear. And that's exactly what makes the situation so intriguing. Because sometimes the obvious suspect isn't the real culprit at all. But while all this drama unfolds on screen, another battle is taking place off screen. The battle between fans and the ITV schedule. Because the disruption isn't over. Not even close. The football coverage that removed Friday's episode is only the beginning. More changes are coming. More schedule alterations. More confusion. And some viewers are already expressing their frustration. For decades, Coronation Street has been a routine. Comfort. A tradition. Something audiences could rely on. Now that routine is being repeatedly interrupted. And many fans are wondering how much more disruption lies ahead. Ironically, the uncertainty surrounding the schedule perfectly mirrors what's happening inside the show itself. Nothing feels stable. Nobody knows the full truth. And every storyline seems to be heading toward a dramatic collision. So what happens next? Will Kit finally uncover what Gary is hiding? Is Gary protecting himself? Or protecting somebody else? Could Summer's tragic confession trigger an unexpected breakthrough in the murder case? Will Daniel discover that the person he blames isn't the real culprit at all? And has David unfairly accused Jody? The answers are coming. But if Coronation Street has taught us anything, it's that the truth rarely arrives without causing devastation first. And some secrets are far more dangerous than they initially appear. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Coronation Street spoilers, theories, schedule updates and shocking twists here on Coronation Street Update. Because the drama on the cobbles is only just getting started. And the biggest revelations may still be ahead.